everyone. Today I'm going to present an idea for a framework fostering environmentally conscious cloud orchestration. Okay, so as we may already know, cloud services are growing at a fast pace, and keeping running the infrastructure that is required to serve all this demand is expensive, both economically and considering the environmental impact. And it's expected that the energy consumption of data centers will rise above 800 terawatts hour by 2026, and this is concerning. And for these reasons, especially in the EU, some regulation efforts have been made to demand for measurable sustainability efforts. So what we are proposing is a framework in which we consider geographically distributed data centers, and our objective is to optimize job placement based on several sustainability factors, and we want to balance user preferences because they might favor one factor over another, and we want to balance these preferences with what we call data center sustainability profiles that should describe the environmental impact taking an holistic approach. So we want to account for the construction impact that is mainly the materials that have been used to build the data centers and the significant land that is occupied by this building. Of course, we want to account also for the environmental risks that are huge when it comes to the dismantling of this building and the enormous amount of waste that is generated. And we think that the LEED certification might be something that we can incorporate in our sustainability profiles. And of course, we need also to account for operational impacts. The concern about the amount of water that is being used to cool the data center is rising, and I think it is important to consider both the withdrawal and the actual consumption of water of these buildings, but of course we need to take care also of any program that the companies might be involved into to recycle or restore the water they are withdrawing. Another interesting aspect is that they might be taking this water from areas with or without water stress, and we should consider this aspect in considering how much these data centers are sustainable. Of course, also the energy consumption is crucial, and we want to address both the carbon footprint of the energy that is being consumed, but also other factors such as the water footprint associated with the energy production, the land use, and so on. Of course, the well-known metrics of water usage effectiveness and power usage effectiveness, we will be embedded in these sustainability profiles. So suddenly, there is not much data available at the moment, and we need to rely upon sustainability reports that companies are publishing. However, these reports are not standardized, and we may end up with pieces of information that are not comparable. Just to give you an example, Meta is providing much more accurate data on the water consumption with respect to Google, which is not providing any water usage effectiveness metrics, for example. Okay. On the other end, I could find some interesting data about the energy production impact. Of course, both considering the carbon intensity, but also considering the water consumption factor, the land use, and a safety metrics that is accounting for the number of deaths due to accidents and long-term air pollution effects on human health per terawatt hour generated. And now this is the problem formulation in which we aim to assign each job to a data center, considering a cost that embeds both the environmental impact score that is based on the sustainability profile of the data centers and the user's preferences. As I said, they might favor one factor over another. And of course, we are considering also the deployment cost or the migration cost if the job is already deployed somewhere in the system. Of course, this problem is rather simple, and we need to consider more complicated and constrained scenarios. But yes, at this stage, this problem is polynomially solvable, and yes, a greedy algorithm will find the optimal solution. So yeah, summing up, our goal is to minimize the environmental impact of cloud orchestration, considering a holistic approach to enable cloud clients to measure and minimize their ecological footprints. And of course, this work has some limitations, and we aim to address them at least partially in the full paper version. And so yes, we will for sure refine and formally define the sustainability profiles, and we will consider more constrained scenarios, and we will probably explore heuristic solution for this kind of scenarios, and we aim to validate our approach through simulations. So thank you for listening, and if you have any question.
Thank you. We have a couple of minutes for questions again. Do we have an online question for Giulio? And if not, then I've
nothing here for now. Yeah.
Seen a few questions here in the room. Maybe we start here.
So at the beginning, when you were talking about your holistic approach, you mentioned material use and land use. How do you factor in land use into these models? Is it just the amount of land use? Is it a particular place? But then is that going to be more quantitative? So how do you turn it into something qualitative to give recognition?
Yes, thank you for your question. Very interesting.
Repeat it?
Oh, yes. So sorry. He's asking how I'm accounting for land use. It is not only a quantitative measure, because it's not only about the land that is actually taken, but also about the, I guess, what are the implications of taking that land to build a data center, right? Okay. So at the moment, I don't have an answer for this question. And the only, let's say, measurable metric that I could find is the LEED certification, which should account for at least material use. I'm not sure about land occupation, but for sure what you are saying is very interesting because you know, taking this land and building data center have a huge impact on the environment and on the ecosystem. So we should for sure take into consideration that. Thank you.